Noel, same question.
Yeah, thank you so much for that question. And I believe working with the current Dusa Council, and that is the reason you have witnessed some of the most shameful divisions. I was not part of that council. I was not of the idea of the council that was 2021 sending emails, this and that. So what I will tell you is about my committee as the president. You should realize, members of our good association, that the president has one committee. And that committee under the Dusa Constitution is the Governance and Ethics Committee. That is the committee that a president is supposed to chair. How you do not know, I do not understand. Why it was not formed, I do not also understand. Because as a speaker, we are receiving reports of each and every committee, but we've never had a report of Governance and Ethics Committee. As the president, what I will do is get competent members, members with good reputation within ourselves, and I'm imagining of DCF chair while I'm speaking the same. I'm imagining people who can offer good leadership, like the DC3 president, to be part of that committee, so that we might not have a situation whereby people are not performing their roles, or people are performing roles that are not supposed to be theirs. And another thing that I will also do is concerning the Dusa activities. The Dusa activities are supposed to cut across from the Congress all the way to the Council. I know Congress has been a new body, and people have been saying that we are putting it on a test, but enough of that. They have tested us already, and Congress are competent. Congress have been working in committees, and that is the reason why we should allow them to even make a decision of passing the budget. You do realize, you're saying something?
Yes, I have a follow-up question before you continue.
All right.
I happen to have served in DC3 for quite some time.
Thank you.
And the current DC3 president is not serving, is not carrying out his mandate. Yeah? Is that your definition of competence?
If the current Dusa president is not carrying out his mandate,
No, DC3
president is not carried out his mandate, that I will tell you for sure, I am not the one to determine whether or not someone is carrying out his mandate. And that is subject to debate. You cannot say that somebody is incompetent if that person was elected just a month ago. Really, we should give that gentleman some time to exercise his leadership so that we can be able to put him in a test later on. As I was saying before I was courteously interrupted, I was talking about decision making now. Decision making should include the Congress. We cannot have a situation whereby the last council did, whereby they just sit down and avoid the stipulation of our constitution, draft a budget, then pass that budget by themselves, while they are aware that it was supposed to pass through Congress. And he is here, one of the council member, he is here. But he is not telling us how that happened, because they are supposed to sit 7 of them and draft a proposed budget. After drafting a proposed budget, members, do you know what should follow? They should take it to the Congress for approval. So if Congress aspirants, you are there, just know that in my government, every decision that will be made has to pass through you, including decision concerning academics and monetary affairs. Again, before you interrupt me, I will talk about barazas. Barazas should be within schools as well. School of Arts and Social Science should carry out academic baraza. School of Communication carry out an academic baraza, and any other school. And if they are there, we should have
to cut you short. We have to move on to the next question.
Right.
The next question. How do you, a question to both of you, how will you ensure that the Governance Committee and the Communication Affairs Committee, because you also chair the Communication Affairs Committee if you get elected, so how will you ensure that they are formed and run effectively?
Thank you for the question. First of all, In fact, I'll be giving you, if I'm elected today, or if I'm elected on Wednesday or Thursday, give me until the following week on Friday, then I'll give you an update on how everything will have followed up. So I'm going to do it this way, regardless of gender, regardless of class, regardless of looks, regardless of tribe. I'll incorporate everyone, and regardless of the campuses, to be part and parcel of that committee. Because all of us understand how important is that committee. All of us understand why we are complaining about incompetent leaders, yet there is this committee that is supposed to be there to even check on the president, or to even check on the ISADU president or the campus governor. Just to add on it, when you talk about competency and incompetency, sorry to say, my competitor here was my chair of debating club, but he did not do any task. I'm not attacking him, but I'm saying for a fact. Here in Athi River, we are in the quest to revive the students' participation and the students' involvement in all activities. But apparently, he could not perform any task until we had to reinstate and put another person. So, if we talk about competency and incompetency, let us not foolish the students that we are going to do this, we are not going to do this. Let us be real to these students, because we are sugarcoating so many things by we leaders who stand here, yet we don't do the actual thing. He's talking about the budget, and he himself is supposed to work hand in hand with the council. But the bigger question right now in the room is, yes, I'm given credit by the university to do 1, 2, 3 things. Did we know any credit that was given? Even did the Congress know that our leader, our speaker, our chair is allocated this and this? Did they even know the clerk is allocated this and this? So let us not sugarcoat, but be real to students. Let us not deceive them. We are here to serve. And I believe I'm your servant because I've been serving you and I've been raised by students.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I noticed that the gentleman here is highlighting some of the most serious claims that really I have to talk about them.
Answer the question.
The question, before I answer your question.
No, let's not make it back and forth. Let's not make it back and forth.
The debate club.
Yeah.
The debate club. Yes, I was given the chairmanship of the debate club, but after I woke up, I found another person chairing that club, and I have no problem really.
Please answer the question.
But the gentleman has been calling me, come and bonderate.
Please
And
answer
that
the
is what
question.
I was
Please
doing.
answer the question.
What was your question again? Sorry.
How will you, if elected as the president, how will you ensure that the governance committee and the communication affairs committee are formed and run effectively?
Thank you so much. The governance and communication committee. First of all, we have a constitution. We have a constitution, Dusa Constitution, and that constitution highlights some of the requirements. One is that the Congress members should be part of that committee. And in my governance and ethics committee, yes, we will have members of the Congress from various schools, first and foremost, so that we can get a wide range of ideas. We can get a wide scope of issues affecting each and every school. And communication as well. We need, Daystar, we are advocating for professionalism. And that is what we need, and that is what is making us stand out. So it will be unthinkable not to consider a student or students from the communication school to be part of the communication committee, because there we will get a good website, we will get good printing, and the wording, I can assure you, will be perfect. If at all, we consider professionalism above all. Issues with gender, tribe, or whatsoever that are that I do not think about. What I really have to give priority is professionalism, and yes, servant leadership as well, because we cannot be able to cater for everyone's needs.
A lot has been said about competency, incompetency.
Yes.
I'd like to find out from both of you, yeah? What are the most important qualities or skills that you look for the people you want to build a team with?
The qualities of a leader, I believe that's what you're asking. And to me as a leader, I believe I should have people who can openly take critique. Number two, it's not a must for them to have experience, but they can follow up until the task is done. No matter the challenges, following up until the task is done. When the task is done, it will be believed or it will be said that you are competent. But if I speak about issues concerning Daystar students, if I speak about hostel, if I speak about sports, if I speak about committees, food, whatsoever, and I don't follow up to ensure there is progress made, then that is incompetence. That is my definition of competence.
Yes, thank you so much. You asked a very important question. What qualities am I looking so that I can work with someone? Yes, and I will tell you, as Team Excellence, you already know that we are looking for excellence. That goes without question. And another thing is visionary. We need someone who sees, who has a good vision of where our government will be in the next 100 days in office. So I need people who are visionary, and I have them. My deputy president here is quite visionary, in fact, very visionary. And I will tell you, we are also looking at some people who will transform. Transformation is our agenda. And that is the reason I'm telling you, if there is a certain policy that is not working within the prevailing condition, we will change that. Because again, the students are the largest stakeholders in this university, that you must know. And whatever they talk, whatever they say, their needs have to be addressed, whether using diplomacy or using the policies that we are talking about. Excellence, visionary, transformation. Avram, that's what I am looking for.
Thank you. Please tell us the first three things that you'll do once you're in office. I can start with you, Noel.
Okay. Thank you so much. Once I am in office, the first three things that I will be able to achieve, in fact, in 100 days period, if not less, one of the things that I will ensure will happen is that we have, as the president, we are in charge with the tendering processes. We should know that, students, so that we are not misled by anyone. We are in charge of transport. We are in charge of catering services. We are in charge with medical cover. What I will do, members, is to ensure that we get an insurance firm that even accepts the NHIF that you have as a student, so that you are we have a comprehensive health care for students, both those who are well off and those who are not so well off. And another thing that we will do in 100 days in office is about sports. I do notice that our rugby team is making us so proud each and every match they undertake. And that should be reflected by as a school, we should be having that tendency of rewarding efforts. What efforts am I talking about, and what rewards am I talking about? The washrooms that is closed there. I think it should be rehabilitated so that we have plenty of water running through the taps for our players and also our fans. Another thing within the sport is also our hockey field. You do notice that our hockey are playing here in the bus field. The other time, the ball almost hit me on the head. So I'm imagining, why should we not have a level playing field for the hockey? That is something that can be achieved, because you notice that we have quite a good chunk of land the other time. So that is two things. Another thing that we will do, and this is subject to debate, I noticed that people think that it will not happen. Even the remuneration, people thought it will never happen, but it did. We are going to refund your money, pure and simple. If you are having a receipt yenye inasema 100 bob, 80 bob, why count that figure anyway? Why? If at all there is an advantage of counting figures, then you should tell us. You will be able to account for our money. So if you're not waking up in the morning for breakfast, if you are late for lunch, that money will be refunded come next semester. And that I promise I will do that. So those are the 3 things I will do during 100 days.
All right, thank you. Nalo?
My few things I promise to do within the 100 days. Number 1, the constitutional review. That is the first 2 months in office. I'm saying so because our current constitution, there are articles that are silent, articles that have sentences that cannot be interpreted by the entire university in unison. It's making it difficult even for this entire process of election to go on because of those petty sections. Number 2, Daystar. Daystar is a mother club to all the departments within the institution. Any innovative idea by any student, any innovative idea by anyone, not necessarily a student, but a person who is affiliated to Daystar University can come on board, and this iHub will be able to give students a platform to showcase what they have to give the idea. First hands-on skill, besides the theories that we learn in class. There are students who are good in IT. They go for activities, but nothing in return. Number 3, I heard my colleague talking about our sportsmen and sports ladies. What again I want to reiterate is, as a leader, we should always yearn to have information. Information is power to a leader. Right now, if you go to the ablution there at the quarters, there is water in those ablutions. So I don't know when you talk about not having water, what you are talking about. These are kind of leaders, when exposed, they can render students into conflicts without any basis.
Let's be objective.
Okay. Thank you so much. I would, with your permission, of course, I would like also, to retaliate on one thing. Members, you do understand we have Congress and Council. Members of our Dusa Association, we have Congress and Council. And the work of the Council is not to review the Constitution. That is the work purely for Congress. The work of Council is not to amend any, and that is the reason BBI is flopping, really. Yes, because the President gives himself an initiative of amending the Constitution. That is work that should be carried out by the Congress.
Right. Thank you so much.
Thank
you. Speaking of elections, I'd like to find out from both of you. So what measures do you support to improve and secure elections and votings in our institution?
What?
Speaking of elections, yeah, we've had a lot of voter rigging claims, right? So what measures do you support to improve and secure elections and votings in our institution?
I did not hear one word. Could you kindly repeat the last time?
So what measures do you support to improve and secure elections and voting in our institution?
Voting and election here in our institution, it's easy. It can be done. Nothing is impossible. Other institutions have done it, and we can do better. If I've talked about the iHub, I believe there are very passionate IT students within this institution that can come up with one app or with one application that can be used time after time, year in, year out. And when these ideas are incorporated, definitely there will not be a hard time in doing election. Number 2, let me link it with the Constitution. If a Constitution is clear and everybody knows what they are mandated for, we will not wait for the sitting council, Dusa Council, to say that we are going to have elections on a particular date, this and that. But everything will be seamless, and I believe Daystar will be in order, and we will be heading to the uttermost.
Thank you so much. Noel?
The same question?
Yes.
Thank you so much. Members, I think you need to hear this because it's something that has always been going on. As a player of football, you should be preoccupied with the game and not insulting the referee. Yeah, you should not insult the referee. Play the football. You have jersey. Play the football. And what we are going to do, there is no measure that I will come in place. I believe in our institutions. I believe in ECD, the Electoral Commission of Daystar, unless you have faith with the institutions that are in place. Unless you have faith with the associations, you will always cry foul. So I will let the Electoral Commission of Daystar do their work. They are student mandated authority. They themselves are in a better position to propose to us the measures that are to be taken. So no, I cannot propose any measure to the ECD. I am a player.
All right, thank you. Final question for me. How do you plan to empower the off-campus community?
The off-campus community is a very nice question. I was doing it before. That is basing on Athi River campus, environmental cleanup, the primary schools and the children's home around. We've tried to our level best to impact on them. And what I'm going to add on this is, and this is linked up to the security. I think recently with the current SG, we had a meeting with the police and the caretakers of campus, and we all agreed that soon and very soon we are going to come up with the Hostel Owners Association, which will be incorporating students. And this hostel will have representations of both the Daystar students and the people who are living externally there. Because we just realized that they survive because of us and we survived because of them. So if we work together without any conflict of interest, we will not see scenarios whereby a student has been stolen from, or a student's house has been broken into, or a mama mboga's house or vegetables somebody has bought but they have never paid for 2 months. So it will be a harmonious coexistence. And again, just to add on top of it, you know, what is going around, and forgive me if I'm wrong, in regard to the food in the dining hall and whatever that happens there, I believe that Daystar has challenges that it undergoes. And those people there, sometimes, even the cleaners, sometimes you can find that these cleaners, these cooks, or whoever, they have not been paid for 2 months. What will you do when you are told such a case? So will you go fight the cook and tell them it's a must for them to cook? And those are cases whereby we find it difficult to intervene, because if we force the cook to...
finalize?
Just a minute. If we force those people to do whatever they want, those are cases or scenarios whereby we might encounter now food poisoning. But with the good approach, with the harmonious coexistence between any stakeholder here within Daystar institution, a student being the priority, all can be done. And I believe nothing is impossible, and we will make everything happen.
All right, thank you. Noel?
Thank you so much. And one of the things that we will do, and probably we have already done in our team, in empowering the life of the community of campus outside here, one of the things that we have done already, and I think Deshcare will be a witness to this, is that we have been trying so hard to improve the environment. You know, Athi River is a very dry place, members, and planting trees, in fact, can be a solution to some of the problems that we achieve, climatic. And I have been a good champion recently. I am proud and humble at the same time to say I donated quite a number of trees, you know, so that we can beautify not only inside our campus, but also outside our campus, and the primary, Mulandi Primary, that is recently associated and affiliated with one of the members that I happen to know very well. And another thing which is very important to us right now.
Audience members, kindly let's be quiet. Let's be quiet. Thank you.
Thank you. And another thing which will be important by empowering the lives of people living off campus is to ensure that prices are reasonable outside there. Prices have to be reasonable. And unga has to go the same price in Kitengela. And the only way we can achieve that, and I am ready and willing to work with the SG, who is going to take this office, to implement the Daystar Soko that he has been talking about. Because members, if you have any skills, be it as little as you know, You know, you should understand that once we set up businesses inside here school, it will create a steam. Almost, we need to plant enough trees to appreciate nature, and another thing, we have to reduce the garbage that is going on right now. Garbage is accumulating every now and then, and I'm willing to partner with organizations such as Daystar International and also Lukenya Pillars of Hope. Yes, please.
Okay, thank you. Last question. In a minute or less, in 30 seconds or less, how will you make sure that your agendas and policies agree with the University Act?
Okay, thank you. First of all, let me tell you that I, as a student, I'm a very passionate diplomacy student, of which I believe I'm good at. And I believe negotiations is the only way to go. And at no particular point, as a diplomat, you can get to the extreme of fighting, but rather you can get to the optimum of agreeing this is the right thing to do. How are we going to do it? We have, 1 minute kindly, we have whatever we are demanding for. So whatever we are going to do, we are going to give the administration recommendations, not only one recommendation that we'll stand by, but we'll give them several, and among the several that we give them, they'll give us one which they are favorable with, and that will favor the students of Daystar University.
Thank you. Noel?
Thank you so much. And one thing that we will be able to ensure that our policies goes in hand with the one in the university is first and foremost creating good relation. And I will tell you, members of our association, there is nothing good as creating good relations. Really, learn a culture of cultivating deep and long-lasting relation, because that will not only ensure that you have good friends, but it will also ensure that you make an informed decision. And I will tell you for a fact that I have managed together with them to create a good relation with the manager, and I normally accept advice. But I cannot accept that negotiation is the only way to go, because I'm also a diplomacy student, in fact, an IR student. I understand that we have to use carrot.
Thank you.
And what? Carrot and
Thank
stick.
you.
Thank you so much. Coercion can also make
Your time
wonders.
is up. Thank you. Thank you. I would like to end it at that. Any questions for these two teams? I'm going to take only those hands. 3 questions. The gentleman in a suit, kindly just be the first person. And then you're going to take 2 more from people that have not spoken, kindly, because of time. Only the people that have not asked questions. Go on.
Okay, good afternoon, good evening.
Good evening.
I'm Derek Wafula, a law student here at the river. So I've been here, I've been listening to the debate, the questions being posted to the 2 gentlemen, and I'm just happy by what they are saying. It just feels nice when I imagine that somebody is in office and working, and you look at the
please
2.
ask your question.
Yeah, I have to pose the question.
Yes, please ask the question. Please go directly to the question.
Okay. So my question goes to Nalwa. So you are the president, you are the former campus governor in Athi River. We have the 2 fields in Bethel, and we understand that in Valley Road, they are being paid for the fields at public service. So that means that they have a kitty to be able to pay for a field. In Athi River, we have a field that is bare with no shades, right? So in your position, as you come in as the president, what new change are you coming with to promise us that the fields there, the same amount that is being posted to Valley Road campus, is coming to work and is coming to be put in place to cover for the field? Another question is, I realize that we have leaders who are used to the system trying to tell students to understand the system. I thought that you 2 leaders will come with new changes that new things should happen. Let me just give a scenario where we are saying that we are receiving tickets at the hall. That means that money is being counted of what somebody is being taken in. So if that money is not posted the next semester, you're saying that that money cannot be refunded. As a leader, are you getting used to the system or are you coming with change? Which type of change are you promising?
All right,
the
thank
third
you.
question, kindly.
Okay. In 30 seconds or less.
The last question is, we expect you have been serving under different positions, so we expect you to bring up something new, something that you have not done in your former position. If it's bringing up a committee, we have seen that some of you have put up committees where no student is attached. I give a scenario where governor being the governor of Athi River, you put up a food committee where all the committee members, none of them, I repeat, none of them has paid for the meal, for the services in the hall. You have included students, yes, but none of them is paying. And you can see here people complaining and not the people in the field. So if you're coming in, which new alternative are you promising us that will we be included? Are we students paying the same time? Will we be included? Are our rights safe with you?
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much for the questions.
Nalwa, in maybe 2 minutes or less. 2 minutes or less.
Kindly, just allow me to explain it conclusively.
Let's be quiet, members of the audience.
Could you kindly listen for the response? Are you ready? So, number one, you are talking about the sports budget. Nairobi campus having shades, Athi River campus not having shades. Let me tell you that Daystar University is one, and there is no separate kitty between Athi River campus and Nairobi campus. We all depend in one department. So, we're talking about making the Athi River campus fields and the Nairobi campus fields. We as the students, or we as the department, what we are supposed to do is incorporate or come up with a way or partner up. Like right now, I'm telling you this because you should go bank it. The basketball field, I, as the campus governor, together with my sports secretary and the Daystar University basketball alumni, we are formulating, or rather, we are working on ways or means to make the basketball court. Are you aware of that? So another thing is, talking about the football fields.
Finalize your response, kindly.
Just allow me to answer him, because kindly. So another response is, he's talking about the sports facilities. You see, I cannot come to your father's house and claim I want to construct a toilet without their authorization. You should go bank it. Because here at Daystar, let me tell you this. Here at Daystar, I'm a student. And as a student leader, I'm supposed to influence the decision. I'm supposed to influence the decisions that are being made by the university. So if at all I want to renovate that field, I have to write a proposal. You are a law student. And this proposal has to be taken to the Senate. Was there an SG? Was there a president that helped me table this thing in the Senate? Was there any report that we were given? If there is, kindly let me know. The third thing I explained to you, the receipt there are 2 cafeterias. One that you can subscribe to, and another one that you can solely say that I'll hit here for the entire semester. So whatever you're talking about, I don't know what you're talking about, but that is the fact. Number 3.
Let's finalize the question.
Number 3, kindly allow me respond to him on matters committees, because I know he asked it out of emotions. So, number 1, let me tell you the criteria in which I used to choose the committees. Number 1, they are Congress members. Number 2, listen, you want an answer or you're arguing there?
Kindly, let's be quiet.
Number 2,
let's be quiet.
Do you know that in that particular committee, there are needy students? Did you know that? Did you know that? Number 3, we have to balance the gender and get to know where you are coming from. We don't just wake up and say, be in this committee, be in this committee.
Walter?
So as a leader and as a law students, always look for facts before speaking.
Thank you, thank you. Let's have the... Excuse me, let's be quiet, let's be quiet. Let's be quiet. Let's take the second question. Let's be quiet. Let's be quiet. Let's be quiet. We're going to have the last question from that lady on red.
Good evening. My question goes to Diana Monte. We were part of a committee, to be specific, SOEA committee, where we were demanding a lot of answers in matters communications, logistics of the whole event, which you were very quiet. An injustice happened when Zaza awarded people that he wanted to award, and you were quiet. Now that you want to come in
Let's be
as a
quiet,
leader who
kindly.
will represent students at large, what will you do different if this committee kidogo ulikuwa nayo, you were silent about those issues that happened?
Yes.
And the second question goes to Noel. Noel, during our tenure when we were serving together, you and CM championed for the remuneration of the Congress members. After you worked hard and we were remunerated and we were tuliongezewa 1,000 bob. You had an increment of 5,000. CM had an increment of 4,000. If you guys were transparent, the same way you were fighting, why not come tell the Congress, these are the procedures that happened, and this is what happened, for there to be accountability and transparency? I don't see why it needed to be a secret.
Thank you. Let's start with Walter. Okay, let's go. Please respond to your question. Let's be quiet, members of the audience, kindly. Let's be quiet.
Thank you, Naini, for that question about SOEA. First of all, I'd like to state clearly, as you have stated, I was just a member of that committee. But you were the chair lady of that committee. You see? So for me, for you to say that there were complaints that were made and I didn't do anything about it, it was not my position to do anything about it. It was not my committee to handle. And anything that Zaza was accused of or Caleb was accused of, I was not part of any of it.
Do you think there was an injustice?
I do believe there was injustice.
What
yes.
did you do about it?
As a committee member.
Thank you.
As the leader that you want to be to represent all these students.
The way you guys asked questions is the same way I asked questions. I might not have posed my questions in the group, but I posed the questions to them specifically. I did not get any response, just as you didn't get any response as a committee member.
I personally don't think you can do anything, and I don't think you're even in a capacity to serve all these students.
Thank you. No, please, let's not have that kind of reaction. Let's have the last question. The last question.
I had a question.
Yes, you can respond as she comes. Just come.
Yes. The question about money, really, that has been used against me for quite a long time. I think it's a good platform to be able to air out this. And Naini, how stupid of me not to have passed a communication to the Congress that I have been added 5,000 worth airtime. Because again, members, you should understand, when you go to different offices championing for interest, I did not talk about the speaker. Siam will be here, will tell you she did not speak about Siam herself. But again, when that 1,000 was added to you, yes, when that 1,000 was added to you, members, I want to be very categorical. I thought I would receive the same amount. Only the management to call me and told me that.
Let's be quiet. Continue. Continue.
I noticed there is far too much excitement with my accent. But I will tell you the management said that, of course, as the speaker, we will treat you differently. Of course, as the speaker, you are serving 2 campuses and you are not serving a respective school. So in terms of allowances, we will treat you differently. I know the issue is not about me receiving an extra 5,000, yes? The issue is about communication. So how stupid of me not to have communicated, really.
Thank you
I
for your
apologize.
response.
Yeah.
Next question.
My question goes to Noel. In your statement, you said you are the chair of the debate, right?
Proceed.
Right? Answer me.
You just heard I was sacked from that chair.
I didn't ask whether you were sacked or not. Answer my question. Were you the chair?
Answer the question kindly.
No.
So you were not the chair?
Yes.
With your lack of an awareness, how are you going to serve these people? That is my first question. Because you telling us that you woke up and you found out that you are no longer the debate chair means you are unaware. Yes. So, amongst the 3 things that they asked you're going to do for the school, your third point really frustrated me. How are you going to do a refund for a whole year as part of what you're going to do? Yes.
You're done? Good lady? No? Please continue.
Yes, and then you said you're all about professionalism. And you mentioned servant leadership as a by the way. So what is your definition of servant leadership? Okay, and then there's
That
this.
is the last set of questions we're going to have for tonight because of time.
As the chair, as the speaker, what did you do that can convince us you are fit to be the president if a simple task of organizing Congress to vote in the new treasurer gave you headache? How come you didn't review the Constitution before Constitution being the speaker?
Thank you. Thank you so much. Good questions from a good lady. I will answer. I will try to be objective, really. I will start with with the first question, because now I wanted to give a clarification. Maybe they told me about time and no wonder you are asking that question again. Daystar Debate Club. Yes, I was elected to be the Congress of School of Arts and Humanities. Back then it was School of Arts and Humanities. Then it was my highest honor to be elected as the speaker with a landslide victory. Yes? So being the speaker first, I have responsibility first and foremost. I have the responsibility first and foremost to my school, School of Arts and Humanities, then to serve the Congress members, which I have done diligently. But to answer your question about debate club, yes, good Nalwa told me that I should consider becoming the chair of that committee, of Daystar Debate Club, and I accepted. But after a week, things change, and things even change. You know that things normally change without you knowing and without you being consulted. I happened to be a non-member of the debate club. But members, I should tell you this, even without being the chair, I have been the one moderating debates. That you must understand. A leader does not need titles and platforms. A leader only serves. And another thing about servant leadership. I talked about servant leadership, and people are talking about my payment. People are talking about my airtime allowance, but they are not asking the current governor what he gets. I struggle to understand, but it's not my duty to ask him how much money he receives.
Finalize the question.
It's not my duty.
Thank you.
My duty is to the students.
Excuse
And I
me,
will
Mr.
tell
Shimba.
you this.
Mr. Shimba, you are out of order
Let's-
because Dusa were already earning.
Excuse
Congress
me.
were not earning. You were put in office to represent students' needs.
Mr. Ian.
And instead of representing students' needs, you went and talked about your salaries for 7 months. So
Okay,
how are
thank
you
you,
supposed
Mr.
to
Ian.
represent
Please,
students'
let's have some
needs
order.
when you put your own allowances before
Ian,
students'
Ian,
needs?
you're out of order.
Thank you.
I have-
Ian, you're totally
yes,
out of order.
I have always known Ian Agina to be a gentleman. I do not understand the kind of behavior you are displaying
Thank
right
you.
now.
Sir,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
We are
you.
And I
finalizing.
am sorry. I am sorry I never voted for you. So
Thank
don't
you.
channel
Thank
your
you.
frustration.
Thank you.
I am sorry.
Thank you. We are done with this. We are done with
I
this.
had a better choice.
Thank you. Thank you for your
And I
response.
think
We
you
are
should
done.
have a choice too. Thank you so much.
We are done. Thank you so much for your
Marian,
response.
come.
Let's be quiet, kindly.
Please note this is the last question.
May I have your attention, please?
Yes.
Let's be quiet.
It seems you are out here being personal and airing out dirty laundry, but I do believe a debate ought not to be that. We're just supposed to debate on manifestos, not attacking each other. Point of correction. My first question goes to both governors, or both upcoming presidents, sorry.
Yes.
I do believe everybody is entitled to a plate of food, whether it is that you've paid or not, but that is out of goodwill, courtesy of our governor and the thing that he has been enabling it to go on and providing food. But how will you ensure that the food that the guys take, that it is catered for, and that I have paid and hasn't received a meal? Because at times meals do end, and I who has paid doesn't receive the food. How will you ensure that everybody gets a plate of food here in Daystar? That's my first question. My other question was on sports persons. When they have injuries, I do believe they only receive first aids. If you're not catered by the school insurance, how will you ensure that they will receive further medical attention? The other one is on accountability and practicability. Both aspirants, you've mentioned something to do with the environment and the security outside and off campus. How will you ensure, Noel, you focus mostly about the police. Do you want to tell me that if a police is standing over there, a few meters away, and something just happens, yes, he's supposed to be there, but does that guarantee absolute security? No. I do believe that both should focus on something more practicable, for example, street lights. That's something that you should begin with. Their grievances, they asked questions to the SG, they asked questions to the governor, but they weren't answered. If they are not answered, who is supposed to answer those questions? Who is above them? How do we ensure accountability from their end? Yes.
All right, thank you. Maybe if you can both reply in 2 minutes or less in the interest of time.
Yes.
First of all, responding to the last question you just raised, my committees are always open, and they always ask me any question anytime, and I'm always responding to all of them. If there is any that has ever come to me and said I've not done 1, 2, 3, and I never acted, I urge them to just step forward and say, this particular day you did this and this. So to me personally, I believe working from within is the best way of working and makes things move. Number 2 question is about the meals and the whatever. So here is a scenario, and I'd request if we be silent so that we listen to
Let's be
this
quiet, kindly.
Number 1, this is very sensitive. You know, that particular dining hall, the students who do it from there are both subscribers and non-subscribers. So sometimes or a student comes there at 8:30 requesting for food, then a person who has subscribed for the food comes there at 9. So what should be done? Should we deny this person who has come there at 8:30 to request for the food because they have been hungry the whole day, or deny the person and wait for this person who has subscribed it at 9:30? And what has always been done is, whoever that has come afterwards, they have always been prepared for the meal. I believe nobody has ever been chased away, and everybody has been attended to.
Thank you for your response.
To answer your question, Marianne, About food, I will tell you that I am a presidential candidate, and matters concerning food and the DH will be delegated to the campus governor. And I am assuming the campus governor are listening here. Yeah. One of the reforms, it is speedy refunds of the amount, whether you people will appreciate it or not, but it will happen. Another thing that we will be able to do is the kind of furnitures that we are having. I know the VC has been talking about it, but we need somebody to keep on reminding him, somebody to keep on pushing him so that that can be effected. I will work hand in hand with the campus governors to ensure that applies. To answer your question about security, yes, you are right in your assessment that a police standing here and you standing there cannot guarantee you security, and you want street lights. All right? Street lights so that all this place can glow. I think that can happen with the kind of unity that you people will give to us. These are issues that should be channeled to the Baraza, whereby the whole management can hear. And I promise, and I sincerely promise that we will work hand in hand with the management to ensure that happens.
We need to finish.
About health, 1 minute, please. About health for the sports, you said that sports should be catered for when it comes to matters health. I agree, because I had a conversation with one of the rugby players and a hockey player in Valley Road, and the lady was telling me that she spent 200,000 to fix her teeth. I don't know. I don't think that should happen. These people keep on winning and winning, and as the student government, we should sit down as the council, together with the Congress, to devise a mechanism that will ensure that our...
Thank you. Yes, we have to do that. I'm sorry, we have to do that because of time. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say thank you so much for joining this debate. I would request kindly the team to step down. Thank you so much for your time. You can appreciate them as they do that. Thank you. I would like to call the ECD chairperson. ECD chairperson Ken, kindly come and give the vote of thanks and finalize on this debate.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, I'd like to thank Shine and Involvement for setting up this debate. It was amazing. I'd like to thank all the aspirants for showing up na kuuza sera zao to the crowd. We appreciate you. I wish you all the best going into the elections, and I want to thank the crowd for those who are available, those who came. Thank you so much for gracing this event, and we appreciate you. And as CCD, we will work towards providing and giving the school a free, fair, and honest election. Thank you so much, and have a lovely night.